Cowboys. The boys is back in town like, it's your favorite homie. That's me, here we go.
Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to the first edition of the Tony Romo Report.
The road to the Super Bowl.
I'm Mr. Brandon.
And I'm Mr. Justin.
Today we want to start off the first edition of the Tony Romo Report.
The road to the Super Bowl.
We want to send a shout out to our good friend, Mr. Randy. Why don't you tell the fans at home who Mr. Randy is?
Mr. Randy is a friend of mine that I work with. He's a Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan. Yes. And today was a sad experience for him, especially being a Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan in the middle of cowboy country.
I mean, Randy, come on. You should have known that you didn't have the talent level to stand up to the Dallas Cowboys. You know, you had, what was his name, quarterback, Byron, what?
Leftwich, rightwich,
Suckwich? Yeah, I mean, and then you got Cadillac Williams. He's had more knee surgeries than anybody I've ever seen in my life. I mean, Randy, you just didn't have the talent. I'm terribly sorry for your loss. So everybody here at Cowboy Nation, we want to give you a big R. All right, we're going to start off this next segment with what, Mr. Justin?
We're going to go over the week's games on the NFL.
We're going to start out with an overtime thriller Thursday night to kick it off as Pittsburgh won 13-10 in overtime. What a great game. Big Ben comes on at the end.
Today we watched games like Denver and Cincinnati. Good game. Kyle Orton, 17 for 28 for 243 yards and 1 touchdown. And Ocho Cinco
had 5 catches, 89 yards. And what a great catch by Brandon Stokely on that play. If you haven't checked it out, go to NFL.com. You can see it there. It's the can't-miss catch from Brandon Stokely. We won't ruin the surprise for you. Just check that bad boy out. I want to tell you also scores: Atlanta 19-7 over Miami, Baltimore 38-24. Brett Favre made his debut today with Minnesota. Why don't you tell the fans what happened in that game?
Brett Favre, 14 for 21 for 110 yards and 1 touchdown. And Adrian Peterson, the mutant, 25 for 130 and 3 touchdowns.
Yep, and he had, it was a 34-20 win for Minnesota. Quinn, respectively, 21 for 35 and 205 yards, a touchdown. I think he's going to have a great year this year. Mark Sanchez made his debut today, 24-7 win over Houston, 18-31, 272 yards and a touchdown.
Jacksonville and Indiana played today for a very tight game, 14-12. Peyton Manning looking good with Reggie Wayne.
Exactly. Detroit had their game today. They lost 45-27, still look like crap. Stafford, 16-37, 205 yards, and he threw 3 picks. So something to build off there for the Lions. Maybe next week he'll throw 4. Let's go to the game of the day. We watched it right here. Ate some queso and some chips, had some pizza, enjoyed a great game. Tony Romo comes on in the second half, 34-21. What did Tony Romo do today in that passing game?
Tony Romo threw 16 for 27, 353 yards and 3 touchdowns. Now let me tell you something about Tony Romo, okay? He serves a touchdown buffet for not 1, not 2, but 3 different receivers. And analysts say that we have no depth without T.O.
And you know what? For that, we should give them a great big what, Justin? Why don't you show them exactly what we're going to give them for that? Stupid call on their part. That's why they pay them the big bucks, to suck.
Yes.
Anyway, here we go. We're going to talk about the running game. Marion Barber, 14 carries, 79 yards, and a touchdown. The Barbarian, Deshard the Hornet Choice. Yeah, you heard it. His new nickname for us, Hornet Choice. Felix the Cat, great return to start off the game, got us off on a good note. Even though we slowed down a little bit, we picked it back up. We're going to go to the next segment of the show, and you know, I was sitting there in the locker room, you know, before the analyst thing we got going on here, and I was thinking, I didn't know Dallas was turning pink.
Yes, Mr. Brandon, they are turning pink. And we have a pink jersey to give to the suckiest player of the day. And my suckiest player of the day was Mr. Flozell Adams. Thank you so much for ruining that awesome reverse play. Taking it all the way back, plus another 5. What about you, Mr. Brandon?
My Pink Star Award doesn't go to one person. It doesn't go to 2 people. Not even 3, Mr. Justin. It goes to the whole entire defense. of the Dallas Cowboys. What in the world happened to you today? You got scorched by Byron Leftwich. Cadillac Williams ran all over you. I don't know what happened. You didn't show up for the game. You looked horrible, and I'm going to tell you something right now. That was the worst defensive performance I've seen in a while. We really, really need to pick it up if we're going to beat the Giants next week. Now, we're going to give away our, what's this? The Blue Star Award. This is for the best player of the week. Mr. Justin, who's your Blue Star player of the day?
My Blue Star player for today is going to be Tony Romo. I mean, this man is just amazing today. Granted, he has the oldest offensive line in the NFL, who did not get that much pass protection. He was still able to show great poise amongst all of that pressure for throwing 353 yards and 3 touchdowns in a game. Some quarterbacks don't get that in 2.
And, you know, I was supposed to talk about the running game. We didn't even need a running game today. Tony Romo scorched the Buccaneers defense. Now, my Blue Star Award is going to go to Patrick Creighton. What a great comeback from last year. Dropped a bunch of passes, didn't do a lot, comes out, has 135 yards and a touchdown today, looked good. That is going to be a guy who's going to be very, very key for us this year if we're going to win ball games. Now, we're going to go to the other award we give out here, and that award is Can't Make It in Big D, is the player, the rest of the NFL that can't make it. I want to go ahead and tell you who is our guy that we chose as the Can't Make It in Big D.
Mike Stafford.
Exactly. Matthew Stafford, 16 of 37, 205 yards and 3 picks. Horrible, horrible day, and he can't what? He can't make it in
Big D.
Exactly. We're going to go to the next segment of our show. We like to call this the Beer Gut 6-Pack. I'm going to ask Mr. Justin 3 questions about the Cowboys, and Mr. Justin's going to ask me 3 questions about the rest of the NFL. Mr. Justin, here's my question for you. What was the main thing we need to work on offensively?
I feel like our front line needs the most work. We have plenty of weapons. We don't need to We've got the 3-headed monster in the backfield. It just seems like Tony Romo is not getting the protection that he needs to be able to make these passes to Patrick Creighton, to Miles Austin, and all the other great receivers we have.
Exactly. What was the key to Tony Romo's success today?
Poise under pressure, I believe, Mr. Brandon. He did a great job out there under all that pressure.
Yep. What happened to our D today?
They fell apart. I don't know what happened. Feels like second string come out there to play today.
Exactly.
Okay, Mr. Brandon, my 3 questions for you. What kind of effect will Brett Favre have?
I think he'll have a good effect if he can keep the ball from turning over. He turns it over in key situations. We know he's a gunslinger. If Adrian Peterson can stay healthy, he can make a big effect because he can use that play action. But if Adrian Peterson can't stay healthy, not a big effect.
What rookie quarterback will be better, Sanchez or Stafford?
I think Sanchez, he's got more weapons. He's got a better offensive system, a better defense to back him up. Stafford isn't very good.
And who is your Super Bowl pick?
Of course, the Dallas Cowboys for both of us.
Of course, the Dallas Cowboys for both of us.
AFC for me, Baltimore Ravens.
I'm going to go with the same.
Okay, real quickly, we're going to throw in some predictions. Who do you think wins tonight, Chicago or Green Bay?
Green Bay.
Green Bay. I'm going to take Chicago, actually. Buffalo, New England, the Monday night doubleheader, and San Diego, Oakland. Who are your 2 picks there?
I'm going to have to go with New England, and of course, it's a tough choice for San Diego.
Yeah, tough choice, really. San Diego, and I'm going to go with New England as well. This next Sunday, we're going to get out. We're going to play the New York Giants at the new Dallas Cowboys Stadium. We're going to open it up with a bang and win the NFC East. Go out and support your Cowboys, whether it's at the stadium or it's here, watching it at home on the old tube, drinking an ice cold beer. And for everybody in Cowboy Nation, we want to give the rest of the world a big Go Cowboys!